Hey everybody, Mo here, and today I'm going to be playing some games and giving you guys a deck guide on Jack Illaoi. So in my opinion, this is the best Jack deck. I know I put a video out last week that was like, oh, best Jack deck. But I even said in that video, no one really knows what the best Jack deck is on day one. And I really like this Jack deck. I like this a lot more than the Seraphine Jack deck, personally, because it just fits my playstyle. But the Seraphine Jack deck is also really, really good. I'd say these are easily the top two Jack decks in the meta right now. And yeah, so I want to show off this Jack Illaoi Ionia deck. I've been playing it a lot on ladder, but I just played it in Gauntlet yesterday and I got 6 wins in my Gauntlet. I played it in tournament this last weekend, the first tournament of the new season, and I got top 4 in that tournament. So overall, Jack Illaoi has been doing really, really well for me. I think I have overall, let me see here. Overall, I have a 72% win rate. So deck has done very well for me. Highly recommend it. So I get a lot of questions on stream like, oh, how do you play this deck? Is this deck hard to play? What are your tips for it? So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys that now. So before we get into the deck guide, I want to remind you guys though that 72% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you can do me a huge, huge favor, if you like competitive LoR content, if you're just getting back into LoR, if you're wanting to get into competitive LoR, this is going to be the place to be. This is the #1 competitive LoR content YouTube channel. So if you don't want to miss anything, you want deck guides on all the top decks, how to play, just general guide tips on how to get better at LoR and card games in general, this is going to be the place to be. So make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on so that way you know whenever I post a new deck guide or anything like that. And yeah, let's get into it. So first off, I'll go over the deck list and just tell you why each card is in the deck, and then I'm going to go over mulligan guides. So Momentous Choice, it's just a very solid combat trick. We play a lot of weapons here. We play 5 total weapons. In the competitive version, non-ladder version, we play 6 weapons. So the odds of you having this Momentous Choice turned on is going to be very, very, very high, especially with how you mulligan in this deck, which we'll get to later. Your Momentous Choice is just very solid. Watchful Idol, because you're a Tentacle deck, Watchful Idol on 1 is pretty broken. It's essentially a 1-mana 3/3, but even more than that because Tentacle spawning is cheating in a way. Barnacles, because giving your unit unblockable is really good. Putting it on a 2/2 unblockable, create value, very solid weapon. Coral Creatures and Grumble Slug are here for the same thing. 2 mana attune weapons, and we'll go over these 4 cards because they're essentially the same package. I have the god, again, just a weapon to turn on Momentous Choice, but make sure spawn's really good. You can use it on either of your 2-drops or even a Watchful Idol on turn 1. Really, all 5 of these cards go together. And then Grumble Slug. So what all these cards do is they let you play weapon and attack with weapon on turn 2 if you have attack token. So you can either Watchful Idol on turn 1, and then turn 2 you just equip a weapon attack. Or with these attune weapons, which is really good. People always ask, why are you playing Grumble Slug? Isn't that card bad? It's because you're able to go turn 2 Grumble Slug into a weapon because it has attune and then attack. So you either go turn 2 Grumble Slug, I have got attack, and then now you have a 2/2 units. Now you have 2 units on turn 2. Or you Barnacled, you now have a 3/4 unblockable unit that's generating you mana, and it can let you do crazy stuff with Knuckle down the line, or cheat mana out, cheat units out early. Early isn't like a turn before, but you can play multiple units in a turn that you're not supposed to play. So that's really what this deck evolves around in your early game, is getting a cheap unit down and then getting a weapon on top of it and just start generating a bunch of value off of this. Like I said, a lot of times Watchful Idol on 1, Eye of the God on the Tentacle, attack turn 2. You have a 3/3 Tentacle, like nothing can just compare with that on turn 2, and it's pretty silly a lot of the times. So that's what these 4 cards are in the package for, is to give you a really explosive early game, because your mid game is really good, right? You play things like Illaoi, Jack, Tentacle Smash, you play combat tricks to make your mid game really good. So if you can get a really explosive early game with some of these units and then a weapon, you are set to just do great, great things. So next is Heavy Metal. So again, this is the ladder version. My competitive version, I'm just banning aggro decks anyways, so I don't care that I don't play heavy metals. But on ladder, you're going to see a lot of Samira you're going to see a lot of Aatrox Kane, you're going to see a lot of just little Demacia, like elites. So having a way to deal 2 damage, even remove weapons or equipment is really, really good. So highly recommend you play on some. So I ideally would play 3 heavy metal. I just don't know how to fit it in. And there is enough control that 3 heavy metal will feel clunky, so it'll feel extra bad in those matchups. So heavy metal on ladder, really good. Not ladder, if you want to play this in competitive like I did, I would just go third weapon, 3rd Momentous Choice, no heavy metal. Knuckle, people ask like, oh, do you actually rally with Knuckle often enough to keep him in here? Yeah, of course. So you rally with Knuckle I'd say fairly often if you wanted to. But also, I think people kind of underestimate just the power of having 2 units in one card. Just being like, oh, it's turn 6. Okay, here's an elusive unit, which is pretty good. And here's an overwhelm unit, which is pretty good. A lot of times that overwhelm unit, you can even throw the brash weapon onto it. Now it's overwhelm brash. Or you throw the Eye of God on it. Now it's something that you actively want to attack with and is going to be buffing your other stuff, which is really good. You don't need to make it all the way to bull for this card to be very good and top level. To be playable. So that's really good. But the times that you can get the coins generated, you only need 2 coins generated, and you can do this on turn 10. 3 coins, you can do it on turn 9. 4 coins, you can do it on turn 8. So as long as you can get up to 12 unit mana is the easiest way to think about it. If you can get 12 unit mana in one turn, you can combo out and play all 3 of them. But just remember, you don't have to play all 3 of them. Just playing 2 is good. Hell, even just playing Knuckle, if you're against an elusive like Samira Fizz deck, just having an elusive blocker is really good, is good enough a lot of the times. If you can even go elusive blocker, put Eye of the God on it, attack, you're good. Elusive attacker with syncopation is extra good because a lot of decks that don't play elusive units can't block this. So what happens is you attack in with like a 15-15 tentacle and this elusive guy. They block the tentacle. They don't have an elusive blocker, so you just swap them out with syncopation, and now you essentially have an elusive unblockable tentacle, which is really, really good. I think that's a play a lot of people miss out on. Syncopation for anti-control because you can keep your units alive if they try and go like, oh, Vengeance, Hexbliterator, Double Mystic Shot, Concussive Palm, Recall. You just syncopation it with something else, and then now they have to have another spell, which a lot of times they don't because they're really good spells to deal with your big units are really expensive, so they can't play 2 in one turn. Or you just completely devalue one of their cards and you just kill them. Tentacle Smash is like one of the best removal spells in the game. This allows you to go toe-to-toe with midrange. This also is your Samira killer a lot of times. Like, people think, oh, well, you have heavy metal to kill Samira. Yes, but sometimes they can get away with all out. Obviously, you go for the heavy metal, and if they have all out, you're sad. But a lot of times, I could just have spawn 2 from something like Eye of the God or Watchful Idol, and then you Tentacle Smash, and now your Tentacle Smash will grow to a 4, or your Tentacle will grow to a 4/4. It'll fight the Samira, and best case scenario, they don't have all out, and you kill the Samira and now have a 4/2 unit that's going to be getting Overwhelm or Brash or killing them. Or they have all out and it doesn't matter because your tentacle is still big enough to kill them through all out. And you trade, but they don't have a Samira and they're going to be very sad. On top of that, it just kills like every mid-range card in the game, really. Especially if you get like Spawn 2 or Spawn 3. Once you get this to be a 5/5, it'll just kill everything. Seize Voice to be really aggressive. I mean, obviously, Seize Voice in your every tentacle package, you should be playing 3 Seize Voice. Overall, really good. You can equip Seize Voice with Barnacles, and now it's not getting blocked by any type of 3/2s, or it can't be blocked by like a 2/2 and the Mystic Shot, or a 1 power unit, the Mystic Shot. So that's something that's really good with it. Syncopation can also keep it out of trouble. You have Momentous Choice to kind of protect to keep it out of trouble. So Seize Voice in there. 1 deny, because having deny against control is really good, but you don't want too many denies because a lot of the meta right now is like Demacia stuff or aggro stuff. So more than 1 deny is kind of clunky. 3 Illaoi, 3 Jack. Obviously, you're going to play your champions. Illaoi, you're in the Tentacle package because Tentacles are very strong right now, in my opinion, having an explosive mid-game. And then the reason I'm playing Jack is because a 4-mana 4/5 with Brash unblockable is insanely good on turn 4. Helps you with a Knuckle game plan. But also, I think being able to have this constant mana cheating and let you get the Knuckle out is really good. And then just being able to have this unblockable unit with the Brash keyword sets you up for a lot of really cool syncopation plays. I think Brash plus syncopation is insanely strong. That's why with Bull, even here, like when you're rallying, Brash with syncopation, very good. Barnacles with syncopation, very good. Jack with syncopation, and still very good. On top of that, Jack spell is like very decent into aggro. You have this 4-mana 4/5 chunky body that they can't attack through, and then you just go like, okay, here is also a removal spell, so do something about that. So I'm gonna kill your elusive unit and then block your non-elusive. Is a way you can think about it. 1 Spirit's Refuge for the aggro matchups, also just for barrier so your stuff can't get Hexbliterated. A lot of times if I'm against PNZ and I know they're playing Hexbliterator, I'll play my Illaoi on turn 5. That way turn 4 I can buff either Deny or Spirit's Refuge. They go for the big Hexbliterator play and you just go, okay, Spirit's Refuge, you're sad. Or Deny it, you're sad. So playing Bind Curve is really good. I have Nakaboros, I mean, focus speed, spawn tentacles, but also refill your hand really good. And then 1 Nakaboros. This card's actually like been really, really good. I've won multiple times with Nakaboros, and yeah, it's like really solid. I thought that originally it was your strong tentacle was 8+ power, but it's 12, but it's still really good. it's really nice into the late game when you want it, and because it's only a one of, you don't see it very often. So in all the aggro and mid-range matchups where you don't want it, it's not bad. But in the control matchups that kind of go for a long time, it's really kind of just like, oh, I played this guard down and now I'm going to win the game because I have a tentacle. Well, now I'm actually attacking with, you know, 4 13 power tentacles, which is pretty silly. If you ever get a leveled Illaoi and Nakakuboros, you're spawning 3 every round, and then the game just doesn't go on. So that's why each card's in the deck. And then now I'm just going to go over the mulligan guide. Mulligan guide is very simple. You're just going to want a hard mulligan most of the time for a 2-drop and then a weapon. So Watchful Idol, Coral Creatures, Grumble Slug, and then a weapon is going to be your ideal mulligan. Sometimes I've been keeping Jack less and less often than I did originally in my opening hand because of how explosive and how important this early game is. And even Illaoi, I'll keep Illaoi if I have like another way to spawn, but just Illaoi on 4, if you don't have any other tentacles prior to Illaoi, just Illaoi on 4 attacking as a 3/6 overwhelm, not very good. So a lot of times I've even been kicking Illaoi to kind of spawn, unless I'm against like a control deck where I know like, oh, they probably can't kill Illaoi, so I can at least get a free attack in and then start doing stuff from that. It's okay. If I have a way to spawn tentacles, I'll keep Illaoi. Like if I already have like an Eye of God, Watchful Idol, even a Siege Voice, I'll keep like Siege Voice Illaoi. But really the biggest thing in this deck is trying to find a 2-drop or Watchful Idol and then a weapon, because having that explosive early game really will set you up for an insane amount of victories and bring your win rate up very high. So that's it for the deck guide portion. So let's play some games with it. Let me show you guys how it's done. All right, Karma Jace. So instead of going with Seth, this person decided to go with Jace, but there's still Ionia, P, and Z region. It should be okay for us. So we're going to mulligan these 2 away. Again, like I said in the mulligan guide, we're just going to look for a weapon and go with our 2-drop Attune. If we get that, that's good. We're going to keep Siege Voice because it just applies a lot of pressure. 3 HP is really hard for people to deal with right now because it's a lot of Mystic shots. It's a lot of trying to make sure you can deal 2 damage to kill Samira, but sometimes they have trouble dealing 3 damage to kill Siege Voice. There's not many cards that they have that deal 3 damage. There's like exactly Aftershock. So playing this, we'll be able to get at least 1 attack in. There's a chance we can get if we get the Brash weapon, that's going to be really good for us. Or even if we can just simply heavy metal this, and then now they just don't have a blocker. That's really good. So if they like pass here, I'm just going to heavy metal here. Force them to have an answer of some sort. Chief? Okay, sure. So I will just heavy metal this thing instead. That way they don't get the spell mana back. Same idea. Try and push damage, start getting the tentacles. Let's see here. Okay, that's okay. That's not really great for us. If we attack here, we're going to be really weak into the deal 1 damage to everything card, the 3-mana one. So I wouldn't be surprised if they double block. So they didn't double block, which tells me they probably don't have it. Because if I had the deal 1 damage to everything card, I for sure would be, you know, also putting this to 1 HP and then just ripping it. That's really good for us. Fun fact with Illaoi, for some reason, I think the spawn on the weapon happens after the Illaoi ability, so you don't actually get the +2 from the Illaoi like you would think you would. At least like I would think. So we're gonna go and just play Illaoi. So typically I'm gonna put this on not an Illaoi unit, so that way she gets the +2 attack from it. So your options now into Ionia is you can either develop, or we can try to just open attack and say like, oh yeah, this is fine. Because I want to make sure I get this Eye of the God down, I'm just going to go ahead and develop anyways. If they stun Illaoi, that's fine, because I'm still going to get a really big tentacle. Like if they just like proactively palm or recall this with a 5-mana recall, that's okay to me. So assembly line, that's fine. That's, I would say, actually pretty good for us even. Yeah, so we're going to go here. And we are going to sacrifice one of our units. Like, we're going to sacrifice this little guy. But, again, it's just going to simply because we want to make sure Illaoi gets the extra power. So we're going to order it like this. You put the tentacle in front of Illaoi most times in case it can level the Illaoi. So we'll swing like this. They can block Illaoi set up for, like, an Aftershock or something. But we have second Illaoi in hand, so pretty good. This sets us up for a Mystic Shot, stuff like that, and of course they're going to get the free kill. But again, you can kind of just look at this as like, it's damaging that, and then made our tentacle bigger, so I'd say it's pretty good for us. Illaoi's 10 out of 5. Tentacle Smash will in fact level Illaoi. Knuckle is good. We have Jack, so we can start trying to get this, but also just playing Knuckle for the 2 cards is pretty good. Shock Blast, damn, created off of Financier. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, but we just simply have another one. So we just do it again. We just do it all again. So we say, okay. All right, we can even set up for a Jack here. So again, I'm fine with developing. Because if they like stud the Illaoi, I don't particularly care too much anyways, and I really want to apply as much pressure as I can to this Ionia deck. I don't want to open attack into it too much and then it just be like, oh, here's a palm, or here's like 1 stun. So if they just do stuff like this, I don't care. This is fine by me, because my units are still just too big, right? They can set up for like another Shock Blast if they have like exactly that. But I'm still trading away the units here, and then eventually we can like get them with like Knuckle, Watcher, or something like this. Wow, they're trading. That's so weird. Why don't you put that? That's pretty weird. Yeah, I would take the free kill. If all you care about is the damage to set it up for the Shock Blast, this is fine. If they don't block Jack, I'm just going to assume they don't have Shock Blast number 2. Okay, cool. Or I guess it would be number 1, because the first Shock Blast was created from good old, the old Financier. And unfortunately for us, we do not have the Brash Weapon. If we had Brash Weapon, we could get this out of Shock Blast range. Or get Illaoi out of Shock Blast range. Sorry, I got a comment the other day saying that people watch my videos while they're like out doing stuff. Like around the house or driving, and they just kind of have it on in the background. So when I say things like, oh, this card or this one, it kind of messes them up a bit. So I'm going to try and do better at saying the actual card names. So it's a level J, so now the cards won't do much into a Shock Blast, but we did draw Syncopation, so that's really good for us. So I'm down to just click OK. We have Syncopation, so we can keep something alive here. Probably our Tentacle would be what I want to keep alive, because we have the Nagakoboros. We just drew that, so yep, there's Shock Blast trying to keep our stuff dead. I think I'm gonna just kill the Rumble. So like I said, I think I'm okay with just letting Illaoi die. But we're going to keep the Tentacle alive here. We're going to keep the Tentacle alive because Tentacle's strong. Tentacle together strong. And then we're going to put the Eye of the God probably just on the Tentacle himself. Just to make him big. Yeah, let's put it on the Tentacle himself just to make him big. We could even level our Jack here if we wanted to. That means that we're never getting the Knuckle combo down. That's probably not worth it. Yeah, I'd say that's probably not it. So let's just go ahead and just play around for this Nagakoboros. Tentacle Smash is very good. Let's go ahead and just do that. Let's go ahead and just Tentacle Smash them. Just force them to have the recall or deny. Let's see. So they're drawing a bunch of cards here. We're going to draw 4 cards. And we're just going to have to hope that none of them are... Deny wouldn't even really matter too much. It's really just recall. A recall spell would really make me sad. Deny would be, like, annoying, but not the worst thing ever. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. So now we can even attack. We can attack with this Tentacle. It'll go to 11. We can play Nagakoboros, and then it'll put it past that 12 point, and we just get a free attack with Nagakoboros. So that's the game plan here. Maybe we were supposed to attack with the Tentacle first, just to try to set up that entire play, but I didn't want them to be able to cast any type of slow speed, J spells, and stuff like that. Hex Obliterator. Oh, that's so rough. That is so rough. Because I got rid of our weapon, too. Okay, well, the bright side is that's like their whole turn, and we're going to hit them for a lot here, I think. So we're going to hit them for 5, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to put them to 2. Is there any way we could play out all of our cards? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think so. We could have leveled our Jack and put them to 1. But, I think this is okay. We're just getting them to a point to where they're just gonna die. And then now we're at 2 cards. So we can actually just rally next turn with the Knuckle combo. Because, oh wait, no, sorry, because we don't have spell mana. You can only rally with 2 coins if you have spell mana for it, but this is okay. If we block with Jack randomly, we're gonna be really good. We can also just click pass a whole bunch here and be pretty happy with that too. So like click pass, force our opponent to do stuff. They have 10 cards in their hand, so they kind of have to use cards or they're gonna burn mana. There's a Karma, and then they only have 3 mana left. Yeah, they only have 3 mana left because they do have 2 mana, but they're gonna copy this coin, so we can just go ahead and slam Boney this tentacle into their Karma. That's another cool interaction, like I went over, was we didn't draw it, but the Brash Weapon. If we had a Brash Weapon on the tentacles, we'd be able to rally with Knuckle this turn. Yep, so you're at 3 mana. I don't think 3 mana saves you at all here with anything. You could like Mystic Shot this to trade, but that's the best I think you can do. Okay. Okay, so Financer. So I'm not really sure why you got the extra mana. Probably just setting up for like next turn. You have 11 mana. Pretty interesting. So Tentacle is at 9. Spirit's Refuge is great. It stops it from just dying to like double Mystic or something. And then now we even have Knuckle combo. So I'm down to open attack here. Let them spend mana to think they're alive. And then we can just play Knuckle rally on them. Yeah, so they should just go like block, go to 1 HP. That's probably the smartest thing to do, but we'll see what happens here. Hex Obliterator, the Tentacle. I think that's okay, because like I said, I think we're just going to go ahead and rally on them. Especially since now that my Jack's unblockable, and we're going to have another Brash unit. I think this game's pretty over. I don't think there's a single thing they can do to stop it. As soon as they pass the turn to me. Alright, cool. So they have a Jace, but they have no mana, so who cares? So there's Knuckle. There's Mako. And here is our rally. There's our rally. We get to level our Jack. And we're chilling. Alright, and we're going to swing with everything. Yep, they considered it. Cool. So, yeah, that's how you kind of tear apart Ionia, is you want to make sure not to open attack too much. People get scared into developing. They're like, oh, I have to open attack. If I develop, they're going to stun my units or something. But most of the time, if they're going to do something at fast speed, just, like, force them. You can develop into them. Because a lot of times they're like, oh, well, they drew a bunch of cards, and then they stunned my guy. It's like, well, they were going to do that anyways, right? Like, they can draw a bunch of cards at burst speed and then stun your guy at fast speed anyways, so you already weren't pushing damage. That's the way these Ionia decks are beating you, is because you're not pressuring them enough and you're just letting them get to turn 10 easily. Even if they get to turn 10 on like 1 HP or 2 HP, that's usually just enough, because now they're going to have leveled up Karma, leveled up Set, leveled up Jace, and they're just going to go to town and start drawing 10 million cards and playing 10 million cards, and you just have to really know how to pressure them to not let them get to that state. Alright, so we're against aggro, so we're against Samira Misfortune. So people are starting to build this, like, go tall Misfortune style deck, but we should be pretty okay into it. This hand is really good. I'm even kind of tempted to keep the Momentous choice, but we'll get rid of it for now. This hand's really good. Like, we have a 1-drop, we're going to have a 3-3 on turn 2, and then Illaoi is just going to help us win the game. So that's the biggest thing with beating these types of decks, is just making sure you can apply a bunch of pressure to them. So we're going to go and slam this Eye of God and just say, like, show me that you have your deal 2 damage card. Show me you have heavy metal in your hand. If you don't, then I'm just going to run away with the game. And you think, like, oh, you played a Samira? That's cool. Here's a 3-3. It's like, my unit is just bigger than yours. And then, yeah, then we're going to have Spirit's Refuge. And this is kind of why I wanted to keep the Momentous choice even. And so I could threaten a block here. And then if they go, oh, here's my all out, I could just say, I don't care. Like, buff my unit even bigger. Do you have exactly, like, a second all out? Okay, so they have pull. Let's see here. There's not much we can do. I think I'm just going to slam a Siege Voice, and we're just going to try and kill them. Oh, wait, see, that was so troll, because now he's going to Challenger this. I should have waited till after combat, for sure. I just emptied away my 3-drop. That was so stupid of me. That was going to be how we were going to win, was getting overall, and we were just going to out-pressure them. A lot of times, your best defense... I don't say a lot of times. With some decks, your best defense against aggro, your best anti-aggro tool is being aggressive yourself. So if they have Pirouette here, it's not going to be that crazy, because I'm still just going to hit them for 7. But if they don't have pirouette, we're like big chilling. So they played some units. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna hit you for literally lethal. So you literally have to block me, and also you're not leveling your Samira. This is a big mistake I see a lot of Samira players make, is they spend a lot of cards, get their Samira almost leveled, and then don't level it. We leveled our Illaoi on 4. We have 2 gigantuous units in play, and on top of that, we drew a Tentacle Smash, so if either of these units start to look crazy annoying anyways, we can just Tentacle Smash them. We also have Spirit's Refuge, so we're not scared of anything, and this is why this deck's just like pretty fine into Samira things. Even if this was like Samira Fizz with elusives, they would have to literally kill us right now on this turn, otherwise they just die. So let's see here, 1-3, 1-3. So I'm gonna go and just play my I play my 1-3, my 2-3. I think I'm just gonna go and play my 1-3 because I'm gonna play the Coral Creatures because that's the chance to get me a random spell. And I still have the 4 mana for the Spirit's Refuge, which is probably what I'm doing anyways, but because it has the chance to give me a random spell, there's a chance that that spell maybe just like carries me. Who knows? But yeah, so we're just gonna pass because we have Spirit's Refuge, so we can kind of put our units towards the end and block like that. They're playing around Spirit's Refuge pretty well with this attack ordering. I don't know if it's intentional, but I'm just gonna assume it is. I'm gonna assume my opponent's a good player. So we can go ahead and kill this Samira, because I think this Samira is the scariest person here. We'll kill it with Illaoi. So this is going to put us to, let's see, we go and block here. We'll probably just block here, block here. So we're definitely Spirit's Refuging our Tentacle. So this way we take exactly 1 damage. If we go down here, we take exactly 1 damage. So if we do this, we take no damage, but we leave both of their champions alive. I don't think I like that. And if we do this, we take 4 damage, but kill both of their champions. I think that's probably the play. And just say like, hey, now you don't have champions. How are you going to do anything this game? I think I really like that play. We could also take the thing of like, kill everything that's not the elusive unit. But I think this is okay. Yeah, I think we can take a little bit more damage, but leave them with no champions. Is probably the play. What do you have for 1 mana fast speed? Prize fight. Oh, that's what Fighter Fury created? Okay, that's fine. So I lost my Illaoi. Which actually only happened if I block exactly Misfortune or the 3-2. If I would have had my original block, I wouldn't have lost my Illaoi to prize fight, but that's okay. I think this Tentacle is probably going to get us there anyways. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just, threaten a bunch of damage. We can even play these just 2-drops out here to threaten a bunch of damage. And be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. And it will Tentacle Smash any, like, actual threat they play. So yeah, prize fight getting generated off of Father Fury is pretty annoying. Because Illaoi was going to let us just win this game. There's an Inferno. I think I'm not too worried about that at this, like, specific moment. I'm going to try to threaten a Syncopation lethal. I'm going to pretend like I have Syncopation and say, like, hey, guys, if you don't block everything, I'm winning the game this turn. But I don't know if my opponent is going to play around that or really can play around that. So, yeah. Okay, so they are going to play around that. That's pretty good for us. That's pretty good for us. So now the option is, do we kill the Inferno, which is doing less damage? Or do we... But it's doing less damage but could draw them more outs? Or do we kill the 2 and that's going to do more damage? I'm going to kill the Inferno because I think it has the higher odds of doing the most amount of damage. And then we can just play Knuckle as just an elusive blocker. And we're pretty chill in this game. So, there's our deny for any reason we could need a deny. Here's a Knuckle, so we have an elusive blocker, so we're not dying that way. So we should take 0 damage this turn. We even get our another Overwhelm Guide, push a bunch of damage. So their Stylish Shot, that doesn't matter, we're blocking everything anyways. We're blocking everything anyways. Flare, give it Challenger, it's going to pull my elusive, I assume. So he's doing all this to push a little bit of damage all out. Oh, he's trying to kill my Tentacle. Okay, that's pretty funny. So we can just deny the misfortune trigger here, and then we kill both of their units. And I think that's a pretty big W. We could have done like some type of Wuju style, but then we only keep Tentacle alive. This way we keep everything alive. We keep everything alive, we take no damage. We lose out on the Mako, but I think that's fine. I think keeping this alive is much better. Momentous choice. Okay, so we just open attack here, and I think we just have lethal through this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite. We're 1 off of lethal. But we can keep our Tentacle alive at the very least. And then I think it's going to be very hard for our opponent to kill us from 12 with only 3 cards in hand. Really 11. They have to kill us from 11 with 3 cards in hand. That's not going to do it because those are blockable units. And yeah, I think this game is pretty over. Another momentous choice. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This gives our unit challenger. They're going to try and kill our Tentacle. And it's just not going to work. So we can even Wuju style, so we can block everything. So we buffed our 1 unit up to block the fearsome unit that was generated, and then we give our Tentacle plus 2 HP so it doesn't die. So this is where you would really like the Brash Weapon. Oh, okay, so they're playing pump spells, but we're also playing pump spells, so they keep this alive. And if they don't have another unit, we just win the game. Alright, cool. It looks like they didn't have a unit because they just surrendered. So, cool. Very good for us. Very good stuff for us. So yeah, that was a good way to show you guys how to deal with aggro. That wasn't like your standard Samiralist, but it's the same idea that I let my Illaoi die because I didn't play around prize fight. Which is fine because that's kind of something hard to play around, and 2, I'm like distracted trying to record videos. But really, I should have done the line that saved me the most HP anyways. Especially since I had the fight spell in my hand, I could have killed the champion whenever I wanted to. But that's okay. But that's showing you how sometimes your best defense is a really good offense. Like, we were able to just threaten lethal on turn 4. Like, we leveled our Illaoi, threatened lethal turn 4. We blocked them turn 5, and then we were going to literally win the game turn 6 if they had anything that wasn't named prize fight. So that's pretty good for us. And again, that just shows you the best defense is a good offense sometimes. Okay, so Viego Evelyn. I have not seen this deck in a while. Mid-range deck. I assume we can just go taller than it. We are going to mulligan here. Keep our 2-drop. Try and find a weapon for turn 2. So we have 2-drop weapon, but we don't have that. We have a bunch of champions, a bunch of 4-drops. So not the most explosive start. Definitely not what we want to see when you already don't have an explosive start, already have too much top end. What you don't want to see is more top end. So let's go and just coral creatures, try and see what our spell is that we can play around. Build our Tellstones, it's kind of whatever. It would have been nice if that was like a parlay. We could have just like shot this husk. Weapon? No, but we did get a C's voice. That's pretty cool. We got a C's voice. As a very big unit. I think we're just gonna go ahead and play Grumble Slug. Actually, I'm down to just give this thing vulnerable with Chum the Waters. We could also just use this as a rally later on. I don't know if we'll be able to actually do that or not. I think we are just gonna play C's voice. We'll block the 3/4 with our 1/3 if they try to attack here. Yeah, that's fine. That way this will die to Illaoi or the C's voice if they try to block it. Syncopation, very good. Got Steam, so we got some Husky boys. That's okay. We're just gonna go ahead and swing. Make pretty big unit. We can even swap out like Illaoi and this guy, so that way they don't get a free kill on it. Because I don't know if they'll even block Illaoi with anything more than the 1/3. So if they just block with, like, I would assume the Camavarian Soldier. Oh, wow, they're not blocking with anything. So their plan is just to give Illaoi vulnerable with, I guess they're like Viego. Oh, Viego's a 6-drop now, right? Yeah. We're going to play something here to give Illaoi. Yep. Give Illaoi vulnerable. We don't have... Okay, so we can do like a really cool play here. Is this a 5/5? Oh, it's a 5/6, right? Damn. Okay, because I was going to say, there's a cool play where we can Chum the Waters something, and then Syncopation into that. But I think that's probably what we're gonna do, because they can't even kill our Illaoi straight up right now. So I think that's what the game plan is. Let's see. Let's just pass and see what they want to do. Because they have the attack token, they have quick attack, they have vulnerable on our stuff. So they're the ones really wanting to attack into us. So quick attack, gonna kill my C's voice here. Oh, that's right. It has quick attack, so that play won't even work. That play won't even work. Okay, so you're killing my 3/3. Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much I can do about that. I can play Jack here. I don't think they have a 1-drop. So let's just play Jack. Oh, we can go and just kill off this Husk here. That seems pretty good to me. I think what I'm going to do is I want to kill the team, so that way they can't just give everything vulnerable. Because I definitely don't want everything to get vulnerable. And we can do some big attacks, like Spirit's Refuge, Syncopation, stuff like that. We get this good attack in right here while they're Evelyn is still a 0/6 and not leveled up. So let's go and do that. Let's just get this big swing. Get this big swing. We have Syncopation. We also have Rally here. So that's really good for us. Okay, sure. So we could do a couple things. We could swap them around with Syncopation. We could go for a Rally. I think what I want to do is just Rally here. Because we also have coins to kind of do a bunch of crazy shit later on. So let's just play full Trickster here. And we still have Syncopation if we want it. Yeah, because we're going to be able to attack. This gives us, this will put us at 3 mana, so we can still Syncopation. Oh my goodness. That was a big Viego. That's going to be a big Evelyn. Generation and Fury. Oh, there's a chance that we can find some cheesy lethal here. Either a cheesy lethal or at the very least kill off one of their champions. Because this is a 9-power Illaoi, which is pretty good, so it can kill off the Viego immediately, which is a real threat and probably like the only real threat. So that's only 3 damage. Okay. So we can kill off the Viego or we can kill off the Evelyn. I don't know which one is better. Looks like they're trying to level this Viego. I think this is pretty okay. I think our leveled Illaoi will probably end up winning us the game. So I think I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. We still have Deny for any crazy shit. So we have leveled Illaoi now, which will probably get us places. We still have the Syncopation for a crazy lethal. We still have Barrier for any type of trades in the future. We can draw like Bites or Tentacle Slam and be happy. Yeah, I think this is all pretty good. Our Illaoi has vulnerable, but I don't think it'll matter. Because like I said, we have just so many ways to keep it alive. Yep, there's our Tentacle Slam that we were talking about. So I think that's okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give you Barrier, I think. Barrier sounds good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just give you Barrier. Brain, we have Deny for that. Let's go ahead and use our coins. And let's Deny. We'll have 3 mana for the Tentacle Slam. So they don't have another like fast speed spell, so I think I'm down to just Tentacle Slam this. Let me make sure this isn't leveling. Yeah, it's not leveling. So we're just gonna go ahead and Tentacle Slam this, make this big. And like I said, we should be able to just win with Syncopation lethal next turn. We're gonna kill that. Oh, Viego's Despair. No! If I had Syncopation, I think I'd be able to kill him here. Okay, the good news is they're at 2 HP, so they have to block everything. If we can just get really wide, I think we can just win by having too many units for them to deal with. Here's a Jack. Like, we just need them to not have 2 units to play. Like, basically just not Hydrovine. If they have Hydrovine here, we could be in some trouble. Oh, our Jack also has Overwhelm, so there's a chance that... Oh my gosh, they have exactly Hydrovine. They have exactly Hydrovine! Oh, please, man. That's like the one thing we needed you to not have. You're joking me. That's literally the one card we needed them to not have was Hydrovine. Okay, but there's still a chance... Wait, we still have Syncopation lethal because of leveled up Jack. Will deal exactly 2 damage when blocked by Encroaching Mist. Thanks to the attune from the Grumble Slug. Okay, so I think we should still have lethal here by exact lethal. Only because we had attune from Grumble Slug. Thoughts? Maybe? Nice, we got there. Oh my gosh, that was so close. That was a crazy game. Leveled Viego, or not leveled, it would have been leveled Viego. But Viego on curve with 2 husks, vulnerable champions, leveled Evelyn on 5. Like, crazy stuff going on. No weapon until basically the very end there. Like, that last turn, we drew our weapon. Maybe the turn before that, but... Yeah, very, very crazy stuff. That really just shows you how to, like, maneuver your cards around, try and push the most amount of damage, know what your game plan is. Like, we knew... Yeah, sure, we could have traded... Illaoi into the Viego, but you know, we decided that Illaoi was going to be our win con. That is the most likely chance we have of winning the game at this point, so that's how we're going to try and, you know, we're going to keep it alive, let you keep your Viego alive, and just plan to kill you on the next turn. That's should have showed you guys really how to, like, develop your game plan, your micro game plan, and really just stick to it, not deviate from that, to kind of mess you up, because in that late game, like, you're not winning the late game value game plan against Hydrovines and second Viego and stuff like that, so you kind of just have to burst kill them, because you have to know, can you go the distance with some decks? And if the answer is no, then you just have to try and figure out, okay, well, what's my micro game plan now to get me to kill you before, you know, your game plan starts to take off. All right, so the next and final game is, I wanted to show you guys a game from this in tournament where it was pretty crazy. I played this, like I said, I played this in a tournament, like I said earlier, and I got top 4 in that tournament, first tournament of the new season, and I brought this deck. I brought a variant. The only difference was, you know, like I went over, was the Eye of the God. I played 3 Eye of the God, 3 Momentous, and just went down to 0 Heavy Metal, because I planned to just ban aggro and ban, like, mid-range, and just play against the control decks. I expected a lot of PNC control. And yeah, so this is just a game from that competitive scene where, to show you guys that this isn't just like a ladder stomping deck, that I was able to play this in a tournament with competitive players that showed up with competitive mindset. And yeah, the deck performed really, really well this weekend. So yeah, this next game, this final game, is going to be a clip from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoy these games, you enjoy the deck guides, the competitive content, make sure to like and subscribe. It means a lot. It helps out so much with the YouTube algorithm if you guys like the video and then comment literally anything. So just comment, you know, like, if you like the deck, what changes you'd like, if you want to see another deck, it's soon. Anything like that helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. Greatly appreciate it, and I see you guys in the next video. Okay. Okay. Always game 3. I think I'm on a hard mulligan for a 2-drop plus weapon. His hand's really good, though.
for fear. Witness truth.
God be king without breaking a few bones.
I make it my business to know the odds.
My little protege, come for a bit of bloodletting.
You little what? Shut up, Jack.
I want my cut. You could use a drink. This one's on me.
A misstep.
All right, we got there.
Back on the boat.
Jesus, man.
Just waiting.
Ugh. I need to work on mental.